This is Leetcode 30, Substring with concatenation of all words. There's a major call out with this problem that makes it a lot simpler, and that's every word is the same length. If the words in the words list were variable length, it'd be a lot harder to figure out, is this an actual concatenation of all words? There'd be permutations you have to build up and try to figure out, like, well, is a substring actually computable from my words list? This one fact lets you do a great trick to not compute any permutations. Our result needs to be every starting point in the string S, a concatenation of all words in the words list. All right, step 1, identify where we could have a match. Now, if you were to brute force this, you may start at every starting point. You know, you can only have a match if it's long enough. So if it's the length of all of your words, and then you have to figure out, okay, well, is this actually a permutation in the substring? There's a few gotchas here. You don't necessarily want to like check at every point, you know, like the next iteration, you want to move this up. You want to move this up to the A and then to the T and go, oh, is R food? Could that be a word? No, it can't. So the fastest way to do this is really, you know, you start here and then you use a sliding window. So you jump up 3, jump over 3. Remember, they're all the same length. So as long as you're, you know, within the same length, you're fine. So you can see, is foo the? No. How about the foo? No. Foo bar? Yes. Now, if you do the sliding window, the only thing that you really need to worry about is that you need to have an offset from each starting point. So starting from 0, you're not going to check every possible substring. So you have to start from 0, A, and R. Those first 3 points, because that's the length of your word, and you should be able to check all possible sliding windows and if they match. All right, now here's the trick for checking if a substring is a permutation of your words. You don't need to like figure out like, is this an actual permutation or anything like that, because they're all the same length. All you need to do is count. So you break up this substring into equal length segments, which we're going to do iteratively, so you don't have to do it like all at once and look at this. If you break up in equal length segments, you get all the words in the substring. And then all you need to do is just count all the words. And if those counts match what you expect to find from your list of words, you're done. You found a match. You don't need to do any permutations or anything. Just compare the counts. And don't forget the most important part of this. Subscribe if you want more Leetcode and interview tips. Okay, so first we should figure out what's the length of a word. We're going to need that. Definitely going to need that. What's the length of all of our words? Well, that's length of a single word times how many words we have. All right, now we just need some count of all of our words. Now, Python, you can do this with like a default dict or just a regular dict if you want, but Python has a built-in tool that does exactly this out of the box. It's called a counter. Now, what counter does, it just counts up everything and it behaves exactly like a dict. So you should be good to go. All right, now we have counts of all of our words that we're looking for. We also need our results. This is just a list, and we're add to it each starting index where we have a match. Okay, so remember, we're going to do a sliding window, and we're going to do that for each possible offset you can start at. So we'll do sliding windows starting from 0, then starting from 1, then 2, until we've done all possible starting offsets given our word length. So our start offset is going to be something we're going to iterate over the word length. Now for each sliding window, we're going to keep a counter of the words that we've seen, and we're going to manage this counter so we can just keep sliding the window. Let's make a copy of our starting counter. And let's keep track of where our window starting point is. Now, as we keep going past the edge of the window, this counter is going to get blown up, and we're going to move the left in. So right now our window starting at start. All right, now we're going to look at our word offset. This is where we're going to start iterating over like whole words as we go through. So it's going to start at the starting point as we go all the way to the end. Well, the end minus the length of your word. All right, so we're going to go all the way to the length of S minus our word length. And because, I missed a paren. And because this is a less than equal, and these are two lengths, we got to add back the one. And we're going to iterate by the actual length of the word. So we're iterating over all the possible words that we have from the starting point. And that's why it's word offset. Okay, so the word we're looking at then is the word is S from the word offset to the word offset plus the word length. Simple, right? That's our current word that we're looking at in the sliding window. So since we're seeing this word, all we need to do is count it. Well, tick it off from our count. So we have our target count, and now we're just going to subtract it from there. All right, and then let's think about what happens when we're done. So if we're done, counter has a total. Let's just add up all the entries. So if total's 0, all you have to do is append the result. So that should be from our window start. All right, now this is all fine and dandy, but what do we do if we need to bring up the left side of the window, and how do we tell? So this part's a little bit tricky. So we're going to look at if this ever gets less than 0, that means we just got to bring up the left side until we either like just eliminate the window because it's impossible, or we get back to a point where it could be possible to have a solution, right? If this is less than 0, no solution's possible. So just bring up the left side. So that means we're looking at the word that's on the left. So that's from our window start to the window start plus our word length. We're just going to increment it, and then we'll bring up the window start. And that should really just do it. Don't forget to return your results. I do that all the time. I always forget to include that. Let's run the basic cases. See if I have any typos. Cool. It missed the 9. Okay, I must have something kind of off by 1. No. These are out of order. That's my bad, because we won't do this check until we add another word. Bam. Now it works. Gotta pay a lot more attention. I'm trying to go really fast and get through this. All right. Bam! That's about as fast as you can get. We are right there on the edge with everyone else beating this. Please comment on which problem that you want to see me solve, and I'll explain it to you, and I'll get it done. We'll get the fastest solution possible. All right. Thank you.